Hi guys, in this video I'm really excited to talk to you guys about a strategy that I love sharing with my students. This is a strategy that I practice a lot when I'm trying to look for products to source and ideas and how do I want to make my website look. This is one of the best strategies out there, and I thought of this strategy myself and I'm very excited to share it with you guys. So I'm going to teach you guys how to ethically steal ideas of products to sell from proven and successful dropshipping specific Shopify stores. And we're going to do this by going to Shopify's Exchange Marketplace. I'm going to give you guys a walkthrough too. If you're not familiar with what the Shopify's Exchange Marketplace is, it's essentially a marketplace where Shopify store owners can sell their Shopify store. All right, so we're going to go there not to necessarily buy a Shopify store, but we're going to go there to look at successful dropshipping stores in the marketplace. Then we're going to go to that website. We're going to see what kind of products they're selling, what are their best selling products, and we're going to also look at the infrastructure behind the website, right? I get so many questions every day about what should I put in my FAQs? What should I put in my terms of service? How do I do my shippings and returns? Well, we're going to go through these websites and we're going to also look at what they're writing in their FAQ section. How do they handle their returns? How do they handle their shipping? How do they make it transparent that they're drop shipping, or that there's long waiting times? So we're going to look at we're going to try to take everything that we might think is useful and beneficial for us by looking through these stores, and we're going to try to kind of steal those ideas or copy what you think would be beneficial to have on your store as well. So this is the URL for the Shopify's Exchange Marketplace. It's called exchangemarketplace.com, and I'm going to do a little bit of walkthrough, but I wrote the instructions here. Okay, and after we get to a website that we really like, maybe you sell electronics and you find a store that also sells electronics, you can copy this URL right here. You can copy it and paste it at the end of the URL of the Shopify store, and it will show you the best selling product. So that's a little bit of a URL hack that I've developed. So I hope you guys are excited to use it. I'm going to show it to you in action right now. So right now we're going to go over to the Exchange Marketplace. Oh, it's going to be exchangemarketplace.com. So it looks like this. So once you get to the Exchange Marketplace, it should look like something like this on the home page, okay? The first thing you're going to do is click Browse All Stores. Don't scroll to the bottom because these are just kind of like they're highlighted stores. You want to go to all stores, right? Then there's a list of just hundreds and hundreds and maybe thousands of stores in here, right? People are selling the stores for various prices. For example, this person's selling a store for $1 million, okay? But obviously there are stores in here that are drop shipping. There are stores in here that are retail stores. We are only focused on drop shipping, right? That is the concept we're focused on. So what we want to do first is go through these filters. This is the price of the store that they're selling it at. I usually leave this as it is because I'm not really focused on the price that they're selling it for. I'm really focused on the revenue the store is making. And I like to filter the bottom two here, right? Because I'm only looking for stores that are making at least $2,500 per month or more. Ideally, you're looking at stores that are very, very successful and they're making $15,000 or more. Because why would you want to go and copy a store that's only making $500, right? That is not a successful store yet. We want to look at the best stores, right? Ideally $15,000 or more. And then I look at the age of the store. I usually like to look at stores that are a little bit more developed. So I'll check the bottom three. Stores that are in the first 6 months, they make me feel a little bit nervous. I don't know if I want to copy a store that is so fresh, because even if they were successful in those first 6 months, it could have been a fluke or it could have been by luck or chance. So I usually copy the bottom three just to be safe. And then I click more filters, and it repeats the filters we just saw, right? So selling price, average monthly revenue, which we already checked, site age, which we already checked as well. And then here you can choose business type. I click drop shipping because that is the type of business we're looking at, right? You want to click drop shipping. Then I go to industry. I'm going to leave this blank for now, but if you, for example, sell fashion and apparel, or you want to sell fashion and apparel, then you could check this box and it will only show you dropshipping stores that are selling fashion and apparel. Or you could do any of these other kind of industries. Electronics and gadgets is one that I usually like looking at. I occasionally like looking at fashion and apparel. There's stuff for home and furniture if that's what you're into, health and beauty, and then a bunch of other stuff, okay? But for now, I'm going to leave it blank just so that I have more things to look at. And then I'm going to click Apply Filters at the bottom. So here they've given a list that matches all the filters that we've chosen, right? Just to kind of orient your eyes. This is the store's average monthly revenue. This is a for sure number, meaning Shopify has verified this number. This number is based off Shopify's back end of the store that is being sold. That means it's a verified number. This is not a number that was inputted by the seller. This is a number that has been verified from that Shopify store's back end. The average profit, I believe, and I'm not sure just because I've never sold a store on the exchange marketplace, but I believe this is a number that is inputted by the seller, okay? This is a number that's verified automatically on the back end by Shopify. This is a number that is inputted by the store owner. So although someone makes $19,000 in revenue, always remember that revenue includes all the costs that they spend on marketing. Excludes all the money that they spend on marketing and on the product itself. The profit is the number that is pretty important because it tells you what you're actually making, right? Although your store has a revenue of $19,000, you may only make $8,000 after all the marketing costs and the cost of all the products. And this is the price that they're selling the store for. As you see here, this little symbol means that this store is private, all right? And it says private listing here. That means that this store is being sold privately. They won't give you the URL of the website, so we can't really use this store. Oftentimes, I would say about 30-40% of the time, they will make the stores private because they're in fear of someone going in and copying their store, which is what we're going to do right now. So if you scroll though, there's a lot of stores that are not private, right? I would say a good 50% of them. Right here, it looks like more than 50% are private, but actually I would say about 40 to 50% are generally private, and the majority is not private. So let's scroll through this and see what we see. So this one kind of caught my eye, right? 9.8 thousand, 9.5 thousand. I don't know if this number is real, but I do know this number is real, right? So 9,000 revenue per month. That's a pretty good number, right? That means that probably, if I had to guess without seeing this value here, I would say that at least 50% is going to be profit. Generally, if I don't know what the profit number is or I don't believe it, I'll just say that 50% is profit, and I'll see if I like that number. So this number looks good, 10,000. Let's just look at it to see what they're selling, right? I'm not saying this is a good idea or not, but let's click on it. If you click on Spectra Skin, it will bring you to this page, which is a little bit of a story of the website. Some back end. These are basically things that have been written by the store owner, basically trying to support the sale of the store owner's Shopify store. So you get to learn a little bit more about this store. So again, the price is $5,000. It's health and beauty. It's for drop shipping. It's established business. It even tells you that they're using Oberlo, which I forgot to mention earlier, but is another filter that you can check. Where I checked for drop shipping, you can also check for Oberlo stores. Oberlo stores are obviously also drop shipping, but some people drop ship without using Oberlo. So that's the difference between those two checkboxes. The revenue is 9,800. Average sessions. Sessions is a type of metric that measures how people visit your store within a certain period of time. But really, the number I'm looking at here is revenue, and then of course you see the profit again. And if you scroll down below, you're going to see a little bit about the story of this business, its performance, its expenses, sales, seller's advice. For the most part, I don't spend too much time looking at this unless I already know. Unless I have a feeling I'm going to try to copy this store. But this just tells you a little bit about why the store was built, why they're selling it, why they got the idea of what to sell. And as I mentioned earlier, the average revenue is verified by Shopify, right? It's an automated number that is populated here based off the revenue sales. So is this session. So you do know for a fact that, this Shopify store had 8,000 sessions or some form of visits in the last on a monthly average. And then here I'd like to definitely look at this. This is shows the monthly revenue over the last here 8-9 months, and I think this tells a good story about the store, right? It tells you how much they made, how long it took, right? So this person started at 0 in November of 2018. Then every month they went up like 5,000, all the way to a high of 35,000. Then April of 2019 it went back to 30,000. And then May of 2019 it went back to 10,000. And usually what you'll see is that things will generally plateau out to 0. And that's probably why the person wants to sell their store, right? You won't always know everything. Take everything that's written here with a grain of salt, because they are trying to sell the store. So what they write may be biased. So I usually like to base the stores I like to visit off facts. So I like to look at revenue and average sessions. And then once I say, oh, I like this store, I go up here under the name, and then you could see the URL of the website. And it says Spectra Skin, right? This person is selling what looks like a singular product for removing blackheads, acne of some sort. And that's it. They're making money off this one singular product. This is something I often recommend to my students. Stick with a very, very hyper-focused niche, or even sell one singular product like this person is if you're new to dropshipping. This allows you to create a Shopify store much, much faster, right? It's way faster if you only have one product, because you only, obviously setting up the store is a lot easier. Then if you're interested, you could scroll to the bottom. You could look at the refund policies, the privacy policy. This one I probably wouldn't copy just because it doesn't look that professional, but we could click it anyways. See, this looks very bare bones, right? But it gives you an idea of what they wrote and how you can adopt their dropshipping concept. All right, so I'm gonna back out now. What I'm looking for is what the average revenue is, and then what the average reported profit is. Usually I like the profit to be at least 50% of the revenue, and I like the revenue to be at least 10 to 15,000 plus. So here's a good example. This is 16,000 revenue, 10,000 profit. I like those numbers. It's called Waxful. I'm gonna kind of open it in a new window, and it brings me here. They're selling this store for 40,000. That's just, you don't really need to do anything with this value, but I like to keep it in the back of my head as I look through the store. I generally don't even read this. I kind of just scroll straight to what I know is a fact. The facts are here: 16,000 revenue, 19,000 sessions, aka visits to your store. I love looking at a revenue that grows like this. What this tells you is that this store is a genuine store. They are not selling this store because the profits are tanking. They're selling it at the peak of its revenue. So they started this store probably about back in February of 2019. Every month it has gone up 3,000. Then April is 16,000. May is 18,000, up and up, and right now it's a high of about 29,000, 30,000, right? So this, you could tell the store is based on good infrastructure. It's not tanking anytime soon, right? So this makes me curious. So let's go to it, waxful.com. So it looks like they're selling a machine that heats up wax, so that if you wanted to wax your skin for hair, you could do that. I don't wax myself, so I'm not really sure how to describe it, but waxing hair. I'm assuming this is what it's for. It's just a machine that heats up the wax, I think. And it's just one singular product. Another good example of what happens when you sell just one product and you focus on that one product, okay? Okay, so I really like this store for the main menus and the footers. Here's what I'm talking about. You can look at the refund policy. Let's look at the FAQs first, actually. Look at this. This is beautiful. This is the FAQ that I generally have on my stores as well. They create this FAQ through an application, just as FYI. So if you're struggling making a nice FAQ, what you can do is look at the bonus lecture. In there, I have resources and apps that I use to create FAQs that look like this. All right. So you may want to go through this and you want to say, well, what did they write in here? What can I take from this FAQ and put in my store? What have I not already considered for an FAQ? You may think that you've covered all the popular FAQs for your FAQ section of your store, but when you look at other people's FAQs, all of a sudden you're like, wow, I didn't think to put how secure is my online order, which is this one right here. Then you read it, you're like, oh, this is probably something good that I could put on my store. And keep in mind that these FAQs are built off this particular store, and this store is a dropshipping store. So a lot of the elements of the store really applies to your store, right? Especially the shipping section. When will my order be processed? Is my order eligible for free shipping? These are things that may come into play for your store because you are also running a dropshipping store. I get questions all the time about how do we do returns, right? Because we're dropshipping. Well, you may want to look at how they assess returns here in the FAQ section and copy that. All right, guys, so I'm going to skip this because I want to get to a good example where a store sells multiple products. All right, guys, I actually had to stop the video just to find a good website. I wanted to find a store that sold a lot of products because I wanted to show you this cool trick right here that reveals the store's best-selling products if they don't already reveal that on the store. So I found this store. It's called Bago Designs, or actually no, I'm sorry. It's called 𝐿𝐴𝐵, right? I think it's called 𝐿𝐴𝐵. There you go. It's called 𝐿𝐴𝐵. I'm going to open it up. It makes revenue of about $7,000 per month, and I'm going to click the website now, which brings me here, and it just sells like all sorts of random camera stuff apparently, or gadgets and gears and electronics, just a bunch of random stuff, I would say. But there's a lot of products, as you can see. So what I'm going to do now, as you can see, there's no link that says best-selling products, right? So because you know that this is a Shopify store, obviously, because we're on the Shopify's Exchange Marketplace, you can use this little URL extension, and this only works for Shopify stores, okay, guys? Keep that in mind. And I'm going to just go up here where it says filmking.com, and I'm going to just plug that in, right? I'm just going to copy and paste, and I'm going to press enter. And it automatically reveals, and you can see up here at the URL, it says best selling, right? You know these are the best selling products. So it's been filtered by the best selling products, and what you'll see is that of all these all the products on the store, these first 4 are the top selling products right here, right? And then it'll show you these are also popular, and it goes less and less as you go down. But this is probably one of the main products right here, these AirPods. Although I would not recommend dropshipping AirPods just because you might infringe on some copyright stuff, trademark from Apple, but this is the best-selling product. So that's a really, really powerful tool. Usually if I find a website I really like, I will do this kind of URL extension. I'll find what's their best-selling products, and I'll immediately add those products, right? If you find a good store that has like 200, 300 products, why try to guess which are the best-selling products? You might as well just practice this exercise, know for sure what are the best-selling products, and then add those products to your store specifically. So I hope you guys really like this. I do want you guys to check out the Exchange Marketplace for Shopify. This is a huge, huge, powerful tool. And one thing I didn't get to show you guys earlier, but under the business type, you can click Oberlo stores as well. Like I mentioned, Oberlo is by default a dropshipping store. If you only click dropshipping, there are technically other stores that dropship that don't use Oberlo. So these are both drop shipping, but this is a bigger umbrella. If you click this, it will also show all the Oberlo stores that are drop shipping. If you only click Oberlo, it won't show you all the drop shipping stores. It will only show you the stores that are drop shipping with Oberlo. Okay, I just want to make that distinction real quick. I hope you guys really like this strategy. It's one of my all-time favorite strategies. I use it all the time. And remember, you don't only need you can use this strategy to steal ideas for products, but you can also use this strategy to steal ideas for FAQs, for shipping, shippings and refunds. You can steal ideas on how you want to create your website, the aesthetics, the pictures, the branding, the infrastructure, all those things. So try it out, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next video.